How's everybody doing? How's everybody doing? Hope everybody had a good week this week. Now it's Friday, TGIF. Uh, Tonight, I just wanted to get together with y'all and uh, just talk about basically my theme is your time is now, but I'm going to be going over what we discussed the last time, just getting familiar with each other and just kind of you know, give y'all a little bit of the bright side. My last video, I didn't have no sound. I was just talking. Let's see. I gotta make sure. Okay. Wanted to make sure this time that I had my sound right before I go in 20 minutes with no sound. Uh, the glasses are dirty. I apologize. I'm running a little bit behind. Uh, my nephew, I want to send a shout out to my nephew, Marquise Johnson. Uh, I just went and visited him at the hospital, and he's going through some things. And you know, anybody out there that pray, have a prayer life, just keep Marquise Johnson in your prayers. I mentioned on my other channel, he been through a lot, and things have been kind of tough for him since he lost his mom and my brother. When his mom passed and my brother passed, it's like he been struggling to kind of find his way ever since. So y'all just keep him in your prayers, and prayerfully everything work out for him, and he be able to find himself back on his feet, you know, successfully. But I'll be ready in a minute. I got something on these glasses. I'm trying to clean it off. I don't know what I did. I want to be talking, and glasses got a whole line on them. I'm gonna be thrown off. Anyway, so last time we spoke, um, I was kind of giving y'all a little bit of idea about us. What we're about, where we come from, what we've been through, and I went back and I looked at the video, and it kind of went towards us having like a long, depressing life, you know, taking loss after loss. And I don't want to give y'all that idea. We're motivators, you know. I want people to know that we are happy, that we are blessed, that God has brought us through some things. So we just want to give back. We want people to be inspired. We want people to be encouraged. So I'm gonna give you a few things, some of the good things that we experienced. Okay, I mentioned about just to recap. I mentioned about us, me losing my brother, and Jolie losing her mother a month apart. That was a hard time that we battled through, and thankfully, we had each other to help each other through that process because it was tough. It was tough. But let's go to the good thing. So after that point, uh, we moved out of state and we moved here. So at this point, and I did mention this in other video, but I'm gonna keep going from this. At this point, we moved closer to her dad. Hey, how you doing? Welcome. Um, Yeah, what's up? What's up? Her we moved closer to her dad, which allowed us to be able to go back and forth and take care of him, being he's by himself now. And like I said, shortly after that, probably about less than a year, my mom had a real bad house fire. Lost everything. Lost everything. So I wound up moving her from South Carolina here to North Carolina. She stayed here with me, well, with us, for a few months, and then I got her own apartment down the street, in which she have a complete, fully handicapped unit. And be honest, her place was better than mine. I was jealous. Like she had a nice looking place. So, and God bless, had some people come together and help her with furniture and different things. Like it really worked out. So, the good thing about it is I had my mom within reach. Julie has her dad within reach. If any of them need help, we can get to them easily. So that was a blessing. That was a good thing. And we've been down this way probably about 6 years now. And 5 out of the 6 years we've been here, Jolie has been on home dialysis. When we came here at first, she was going back and forwards to the center doing dialysis treatment all the way from here to South Carolina to go do treatment because yeah, she could have went to another clinic, but she didn't want to change clinics. So she went to that same clinic, and then eventually she came home and started doing home dialysis. And it's been good. It's been going real good. Now, that part y'all know. Y'all know most of that. Now here's the new information. Now, she wanted to get a kidney transplant. She wanted to get on the list and get a kidney transplant. And she was all in. She went and she took all the tests and she did this and she did that. Everything was go. She was ready to go. Until her friend, a friend of hers up north, her father um, got called for his kidney. They told him they got a match. He came up on the list. It was his time. They called him in to give him his kidney, and they got the man up on the table, and they wound up severing a main artery and took the man out. All of them years he waited for that opportunity, and he got right there. And so the reason why Jolie was hesitant about even getting the transplant because she's afraid of surgeries. She's afraid of it's a big surgery because she needs a kidney plus and a pancreas. So she was afraid. So when she got herself, she got the willpower, she got the drive, she was ready to go, and then boom, that happened. And then it took her back. She went back to like, no, I'm not gonna do it. I'm not gonna do it. So years passed. Years passed, and about 4 months ago, she said, "I'm ready. I'm ready." Um, to be honest, she's tired of doing treatment, and like she do treatment 4 days out the week, and it's everything has been good. But just think, like it's like a job that you're bored with or that you're tired of. Like you're doing it all the time, all the time. Eventually, you're gonna feel like, you know what? I don't feel like I don't want to do this no more. And that's where she at. So she made the decision about 4 months ago that she's gonna go back on the list for a transplant. So we've been running around because she have to do all of those tests and stuff that she did before. She have to do all of that stuff all over again. So we've been ripping and running back and forwards trying to get the tests and you know It's been a process. It's been a process because each one of the facilities that we have to go to for the possibility, all of them are 2.5 hours away. Each one. You have Duke, you have uh, Charleston, South Carolina, then there's another one I can't remember, but all of them are 2.5 hours away. So it's and then two of them they want you to be there 6 o'clock in the morning. So add that up, 2 hours and 30 minutes, and you have to be there at 6 o'clock in the morning. Man, it's a process and it's tough. It's tough, but it's going to work out. It's going to work out. And who is this I see up here? Oh, that was my daughter. I was letting her know in advance. Don't come calling me. I'm about to do a live. So that's good. Now, let me give you some other good stuff. Now, another reason why she was holding out in this transplant is because I told y'all in the first part, like I was struggling with my vision, like really bad. And it was to the point, man, I said, ain't no way I can go to no DMV and reapply and get my driver's license with my eyes like this. They're going to take my license. I was really worried because the way my eyes was, like they was, if I had to go there, they would just took my license immediately and tell me I ain't had no business driving out on no road. I'm telling you, that's what they would have said. So, but that's what one of the things that was holding us up. Because guess what? In order for her to do this transplant, like I got to be on my game because I got to be able to take her back and forwards. Um, she'll be going to the hospital. She'll have the surgery. She'll be there for a week. Then she got to leave there. Then she got to stay in a hotel for a week. And then even after we leave there, we got to come home. And then from time to time, we still have to go back and forward to the center. That's probably my son racing up that road like that. I told him about driving like that. But um, it's a process and it's something that she would not be. Just think, she gonna have a major surgery. She's not gonna be able to do no driving like that. So that's one of the reasons why she was hesitant about getting started with it, because she would have to do all that driving. Because no way, the way my vision was, there's no way that she would have been able to do that much driving like that. But thank God, like I said, I was able to get in front of the right doctor, and the doctor wasn't afraid to go in and get in here and get my eyes together. And sure enough, my eyes are at least 75% better than what it was. So now I can get on the road and drive. I can drive that drive whenever we need. Like I feel more comfortable, way more comfortable. There's no way I would have been able to do it before. But now I can drive. So now she feels secure that she can go on and get back on the list and get ready to get herself ready for this transplant. And I feel confident that I can be able to get her back and forwards whenever we need to get back and forwards. So it's working out. It's all working out really, really well. You know, but it's a little bit tedious, going back and forwards to these places and stuff like that. It's a lot. It's a lot to it, but I think it's worth it when it's all said and done. I think it's worth it, because she's fairly young, and you know, she wants to do some other things in her life. She don't want her whole life to be confined to just dialysis. She wants to be able to get out, go in the car, and travel, do some stuff in the future, or maybe even go back to work. You know, but this dialysis has been helpful, and I thank God for it, because back in the day, a lot of people did not have this option. They just, whenever they got to that point, they just went on. They was taken. There wasn't no dialysis before, so I thank God that for the opportunity, and for having these, uh, you know, this ability, or not ability, but having these, you know, these sites to be able to take care of people like that. I really thank God and I'm really grateful about it. But let me see what else. But it's been a lot of good things. It's been a lot of good positive things. And one thing, like I said, I told y'all, like she's really like shy and she don't she don't she was like I was the type of person that will be in the background cheering somebody else on. Go ahead, you got it, you got it, you did good. And that's how she is. She's always been like that. She's never been the type to come up in the front and you know, so it's hard for her to come and stand out like that. Like even when um her dialysis people, her dialysis has been so successful that they want her to be an advocate and go around. She would get paid to go around and talk to other people about her experiences and how she's able to be so successful. Like that's awesome. That's awesome because I feel like testimonies are very, very important. When we give our testimonies, like you just don't know what you're going through. When you put it out there to somebody, it could be just the thing they need to turn them around. To turn them around. They could be on the verge of just quitting and they hear your story, your testimony. It could be just what they need to bring them back. So I try to put my testimony out here. Like I'm supposed to be blind. Personally, I'm supposed to be blind. That's what the doctors told my mom when I was born, you know? And here I am, I'm 53 years old. And I don't know why I said 55 at the end of that video the other day. I don't know why I'm trying to age myself. I'm only 53 years old. And, um, you know, I've been blessed. I've been blessed. Like I've done things that I never, ever would have thought I would have been able to do growing up as a kid. I mentioned it before, but I driving and traveling. I done traveled back and forth from North Carolina to Baltimore to New York and New Jersey. I was doing all this stuff by myself. And, you know, yeah, I had a little bit of problem these past couple of years, but God is going to restore my vision back 100%. But as of right now, I'm good. I'm good enough to get us what we need to do, where we need to go, and for us to do what we need to do. So I'm happy and I'm grateful about it. You know, like I said, I didn't want this video to be a drag. When I listened to the other video, I said, man, I should have kind of ended it on a high note because everything I said just seemed like, oh, we just had just a miserable life. But no, it's not. Like I like to give the testimonies. I like to talk to people because you just don't know what other people are going through. Like losing loved ones, a lot of us deal with that. A lot of us deal with that, and a lot of us don't know how to deal with it. You know, so having somebody to talk to has been very good for me. Even though I just started it, what about about 3 months in to my therapy, and I feel that it's helping me. It's helping me to be able to talk, and it's helping me to be able to come out of my shell. And doing this YouTube also is helping me. That's the starting point to me being able to go and get a therapist and be able to talk, you know, because like I said, listen, I don't want to be in front. I was the same way. I was just, you know, hey, put the camera over there. Like, you know, but listen, I encourage anybody. This is 2026, and I know there's a lot of stuff going on around us. We just got to pray about it. We got to pray about this stuff. But listen, I always say, every day that God wakes you up, He have a purpose and a plan for you, for you. So, and if you don't know what it is, you got to pray and ask Him, God, what is it you want me to do? What is it you need me to do? What can I do? Like, some people have talents and don't know what they are. Jolisha, for one, she she sings, but she don't feel like she sings good enough, right? So she wouldn't come out here and get on this on the internet and be singing, and she wouldn't do that. She wouldn't do that because she don't feel confident in her singing. But a lot of times, if y'all look back at your life, if you ever had somebody in your life to give you encouragement, to point out something about you that you didn't know and tell you you can do it. Listen, she has the ability to draw people to her, and her mother was the same way, and my brother was the same way. They people want to hear what they got to say. Like, I'm gonna give you an example. We was at the hospital, at a hospital, and we were sitting in the waiting room, and this woman was sitting there. She had her head down, and Jolie started talking to the woman, and the woman was kind of surprised, I guess, that somebody was talking to her, and find out she was talking to her, and the woman was crying, and the woman just hugged her and just thanked her. And it just, I've seen so many moments like that with her. It's like it's in her to have. It's like, I can't explain it, but she have such a good quality about herself that she talked to people, and it's like a was it a nurturing type spirit. Like, she talked to people, and they just feel like babies in her arms, like, and they listen, and they be encouraged, and they, you know I told her, I said, you don't know, you feel like you don't know what your talent is, or what it is God wants you to do. But I've done watched you too many times be able to talk to people and just touch them, in such a beautiful, special way. Like, she just have that really, really good quality about herself. And you know, I told her I think she would be a good motivational speaker if she came up out of that shell that she's in. Uh, her story, her story could change lives. Her story could change lives. This experience with dialysis and her story before dialysis. Like, I told her, I said, you know what you should do? At least write a book. If she write a book about the things that she went through in her life, and how she's still strong in faith through all of that, I guarantee you it'd be a number one seller. It'll be a number one seller. If she be honest and tell her life all the way up to now, like, because as is, when she talk, people listen. People listen. Even now with her dad, he don't trust nobody to help him with things but her, because he know that she's so knowledgeable, and that she's not going to lead him the wrong way. She's going to help him, get what he need to get, or. So even though she have another sister, he calls her because he know that she's going to be able to figure things out easily, without, no kind of hassles or nothing like that. So, you know, so both our parents really depends on us. They lean on us a lot. And me personally, um, it's a little bit harder with me with my mom because he, mom can be kind of aggressive. Uh, she can be a handful sometimes. But listen, that's the only parent I got left. Hey, I put up with it. I'm okay with it. I'm okay with it. This come on my only thing I got to work with her with is I have to get her out doing a little bit more exercise because she been doing too much sitting around and her bones and stuff is getting crickety, and I know how that is because I spent some months sitting in here in depression myself, and I'm working myself back myself. So I'm gonna have to start including her in, even if it ain't no more than walking along this apartment complex, taking one lap around this apartment complex like every day or every other day, something like that. And you know what? I'm gonna do an interview. I don't know what channel it'll be on, depending on how people feel about it. Over in Jolie's father apartment complex, it's a that woman is 97, I believe, 97 years old. That woman walks around that complex every day. And I said, come on, man. How what's called said, come on, man. Look, ain't no excuses, man. Ain't no excuses, man. Listen, 90 something years old, that woman walks around that complex. At one point, her daughter was walking with her, and sometimes she do, and sometimes she don't. But guess what? That woman keep right on moving. If the daughter don't feel like going out there, that woman be walking right out there. She looks good for her age too, very good. I'm gonna try to catch her one day and see if I can get a little interview with her. You know, uh, try to touch up on my journalistic skills a little bit because that's inspiring. That's very inspiring to see somebody with that type of willpower and drive to just want to be healthy. She want to keep that heart going and be strong at that age. You expect somebody that age to be sitting down somewhere. It's inspirational. So I'll get her out. Well, I ain't gonna say I can't promise it because I don't know the lady like that. But I'm gonna catch her one day. I'm gonna wait till she with her daughter because I don't want to just walk up on her. And I'm gonna ask her, look, can we have a little interview after you finish your walk? Let's talk. And I think about some questions to ask her about because I want to be like that. I want to be like that. I want to be 90 something years old, still walking, you know, still doing good. I want to know the secret. So one day I'm gonna talk to her and see, you know, what she say and what kind of advice she can give and all that good stuff like that. But I really just wanted to touch base with y'all this time. My last video was just mute. I was just talking and talking with no sound. Like, oh my god, I can't believe I was doing all that and didn't have no sound. But it's all good. Listen, I just want us. I just want us to be encouraged. I know it's a lot going on and it's hard to keep your head up. Like, it's crazy. It's hard to keep your head out the TV screen watching all of this madness that's going on around. But listen, one, a lot of this is prophecy. A lot of this stuff has been spoken in the Bible. But listen, we are we are God's children. And the Bible say what you do, something like, I don't know exactly, but what you do to the least of me, you do to me. Something like that. So people are being used, abused, and mistreated purposely. Um, People are gonna have to answer for that. That's why me personally, I try to be kind. I try to be decent. Even when people be mean, I don't respond back with meanness. I just say, you know, used to back in the day, I would say F you, just all reckless. But now I'm more disciplined. And I get it. Sometimes people just don't, they just be on, they don't feel like hearing all that. They don't want to hear all that. They ain't got time for it. And they be on whatever. So you speak to them, they talking, I mean, just whatever. I don't let things get to me as much as I used to, because you never know what type of day a person have. A person could just been fired from their job. They don't feel like talking to you. So it's okay. It's okay. You speak to somebody, they ignore you. It's all right. It's okay. Just pray for them. Just pray for them. But we all going through some things. We all trying to make it. You know, things is not. Things can be tough at times, but it's gonna be all right when it's all said and done. Yeah. What's up, Jackson, Kurt? What's up, y'all? Yeah, that's the plan to keep motivating people. We need each other. We need each other. We need each other. We need to pray for each other. We need to keep encouraging each other. You know, you'd be surprised how many people are living around people that don't care nothing about them. They don't care. And well, I'm gonna be straight up. Some of them don't want you to win. Some of them don't want you to win. Yeah, they smiling and acting like, oh, yeah, that's my boy, that's my dog right there, oh, that's my girl. But deep down, people be envious. They be envious. You know, like I said about Jolie, for instance, how people draw to her. I've seen people be jealous of that ability because some people want to be in front. They want to be the loudest one in the room. They want to draw all the attention. And when they clown and doing all of that, and the attention goes over there, like they have a problem with that. They have a problem with that. Like they be very very jealous and bitter about that. Me, I ain't never want to be no center of attention for nothing. You know, um, I ain't no comedian. I ain't no comedian. Yeah. Now it was one point. It was one point in my life where I used to sing. I used to sing, and my cousin he was the rapper, and I could do some rap too, but I ain't know how to write the rap. I could rap, but I didn't know how to write the rap. So we had our little thing. You know what I'm saying? We was going around. I was singing songs, and he was doing a rap on the songs, or whatever songs was popular that was out. I was rocking them, and we was drawing crowds. We was drawing crowds to us, and of course there was some people that wasn't so happy that I guess people that they wanted to be around them was being drawn was drawn to us. So we had issues from time to time, but I never did it to to try to be no player or nothing like that to try to take somebody girl. I never was about nothing like that, but I just like to sing. And I was more confident about my singing at that point. So I bust it out. I just be singing, And they go, oh, he sound good. You know what I mean? That made me feel good as a young man. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm coming out of church. I was raised up in church. So when I left home, like I ain't gonna lie, I was square. I left home and where I was living, like our family was probably close to middle class. And I left a life of all church because we went to church like 5 to 6 days out the week. So I left that and went to the projects. And when I went to the projects, I ain't know nothing. I ain't know nothing about because my mom wouldn't let me go down there to no parties. Like my cousins would have parties and stuff like that. And my aunts would call, won't you let him come to the party? Nah, he got church in the morning. I had to be in the house when the street lights come on. Like, but I'm grateful. I ain't even mad no more. I used to be like, man, this messed up. But looking back on it, I just think about how that overprotection from my mom helped to protect me from things, maybe some kind of hurt, harm, or danger that was out there, and she was protecting me. So I ain't mad about it because I ain't getting no trouble or nothing like that back then. But when I went to the projects, I ain't getting no trouble, but man, it was a whole new world. You know what I'm saying? I started playing basketball for the first time. Uh, started, well, no, I had a little girlfriend before I left, and things ain't work out. So I had my first heartbreak. But the thing about being young and experiencing heartbreak, and then being around a bunch of player type cousins teaching you stuff, it didn't take me long to get over that heartbreak. It didn't take me long to get over that heartbreak, but it ain't nothing to brag about. But you know, you know, I did okay. But that background, that Christian background, it it guided me. It sort of guided me because when I see people was off about to do things that they ain't had no business doing, I say, "Come on, yo, come on, man." Nah, he a punk. Whatever, whatever. I went on. So I now I ain't gonna say I did that every time. Now I ain't gonna sit on here and lie. Sometimes I did go, but for the most part, I knew it was wrong. I was like, nah. I tried to talk to them. I was like, nah, don't do that, man. Don't do that. Come on, let's go, let's go. And sometimes they would listen, sometimes they wouldn't, and it is what it is. But it helped me going out on my own. It helped me to get back in contact with my brother. I'll tell y'all about that later. Now, my brother, he left home when my mom and dad separated, divorced. My brother went to go live with my father. I stayed there with my mom. So when we are reunited, uh, yeah, it was a love hate type thing. More hate on his side, not me. I love my big brother, but I it was a love hate. Him being a bully, because that's how he was when I was a kid, and he was used to expecting me to be the victim. But a lot of things had happened after he left. I went. I had we had what they call the YMCA, so I did some boxing in the YMCA. Then I was in karate class So I did some karate. Now I ain't karate size him or nothing like that, cause I ain't want to hurt my brother. I ain't want to do nothing like that to him. And to be honest, at first I ran. He would come be trying to hit on me, and I run, cause he was huge. My brother was huge, and I was a little skinny kid, fast as lightning. He couldn't catch me. I said, "You can't catch me." You know, it was like a game to me. I didn't want to fight my brother. I didn't want to do nothing like that. But it did come sometimes. But we'll talk about that on the next one. But like I said, I just wanted to touch up with y'all tonight because I left the other video and it seemed like a drag. So I just wanted to give y'all some high points, you know, because God is good. You know, we are blessed. Um, we've been down. We done took some hits, but like our pops on Friday said, "Get up, Craig. Get up, Craig." It was times we had to get up. We had to get up and keep fighting, and that's what life is about. You're gonna take some ups and downs. You're gonna take some hits. You got to get up and keep fighting, and eventually, you're gonna get to where you need to be, and you're gonna win. As long as you don't give up, you gonna win. You destined to win. We're programmed. God has programmed us to win. You know, He want that for us. You know, but a lot of times the reason why we go off rails or off track is because we try to do things the way we want to do it instead of having God to be our guide on things. So listen, it's gonna be all right. When it's all said and done, everything gonna be okay. But I just wanted to hit y'all up. I appreciate y'all coming in. Um, Coming in and chilling with me. I know I probably got, yeah, I got about 15 minutes and she's gonna be coming off the machine. So I appreciate y'all coming in and joining in with me and listening to my stories. And look, we're gonna keep doing this. Uh, I got a whole lot to talk to y'all about. I ain't gonna go spilling it all, and I wanted to kind of these two videos. Forget the middle one with no sound. I just wanted to give y'all some insight of us, about us. You know what we've been through, and you know how we got here to this point right now. And I feel like I've given y'all some things, some ups and some downs, and how we moving forward from this day on to try to improve ourselves, and how we're trying to help other people with our stories, and how we want other people to win. We ain't no haters. We want y'all to win too. I encourage you. Listen, I never would have thought I'd be doing no YouTube. Like seriously. But God told me to do it. I started with one channel, and I started getting out, and before I know it, that channel grew kind of quick. And I was like, wait a minute. I'm scratching my head, like, because I've been watching YouTubers for a while, right? It's a few of them that I watch, mostly the families. And one, I've been watching them for some years now. And within the years that I've been watching them, like, they had only, that first year, I think they only had like 500 something subscribers. So I'm thinking that, that's probably the base, for the first year for people to get to know you is probably going to be like, 0 to 500, 700 subscribers, something like that. And uh, it went haywire. It went haywire. And I went over and above. And this haven't even been a year. It haven't even been a year. On April, either March or April will be a year for my other channel. And I'm up to over 3,500 subscribers. And man, look, I'm just I'm blessed. I'm grateful. Like, it ain't perfect. Life is not perfect at all. But I'm grateful for every little thing that God gives me and every ability that I have, from my vision to my hearing, whatever. I'm grateful for everything. And I just try to appreciate that, and I try to encourage other people the same way. Don't be so quick to look at your downfall. Always know that you're going to have an opportunity to get back up. Listen, sometimes when we be stuck, I call it the stop sign of life. Sometimes in life we get stuck and we be frustrated, like, dang man, why I can't get past here? Like, listen, I found, and this is true. I'm gonna say this, and I'm gonna get off of here. Many times in my life, I'm talking about in real life, I have been stuck. I have been delayed. I've been delayed. And I'm sitting, I'm mad, like, dang man, I'm trying to get out of here. I'm trying to go. I found later on that I was delayed for a reason. I'm gonna give you this one story. I was a basketball fanatic. Like when I started playing basketball, y'all, man, I got into it. That's all I wanted to do: play basketball, play basketball, play basketball. One day, the basketball court was probably about 12 blocks, about 12 blocks, and I was setting out early. Got my book bag, had my ball in my bag, uh, my water, everything. Well, no, I'm getting ahead of myself. Back up, back up, back up. That's what I usually have. This particular day, when I left out, I got one block. I said, dang, I forgot my ball. Went back to get my ball, got the ball, got another block. Dang, I forgot my drink. I had the drink before I forgot it. Went back, got the drink. Before I know it, I'm looking. It was the time of year, when the time changed and it started getting dark quicker. I didn't like those days because it didn't get to play much on the basketball court because it get dark so quick. Well, by the time I got everything that I kept forgetting, I look up at the sky and I see the sun was starting to melt, starting to come down. I said, man, time I walk down here these 12 blocks and get down there, it's gonna be daggone near dark. I ain't gonna be able to get no run in. I said, man, forget it. I was mad. I said, man, dang. So I went on back on in the house, man. I'm like, forget it. Now, here's something. I never watched no news. I ain't think nothing about watching no news. What I need to watch the news for? That's the mentality I had. I watches it now, but anyway, so I just happened to be watching the news. And on the news it says special report. So when those special reports come in, you tune in. Nowadays, when you hear special report, you thinking there's something about them officials. But anyway, it says special report. Police are on scene. That basketball court, I promise you, I swear, that basketball court got shot up. That basketball court got shot up. And the thing about let me tell you, the basketball court was fenced in. It was only one way in and one way out of that basketball court. Unless you climb that high, tall fence to get out of there, you had no other way out of there. One way in, one way out. The basketball court got shot up. I'm looking at like, oh my God. And I'm scared too, because my cousins be on that court too from time to time. Like they usually meet me down there. I'm like, man, what in the world? The basketball court done got shot. 4 people killed. 4 people killed on that basketball court, man. I'm messed up, man. I'm messed up. I'm messed up. I'm like, where's my cousins at? Like, you know, When all the dust settled, I knew a couple of the guys, from playing ball every day. But none of my family members went out there to that basketball court. They didn't go out there because I didn't come down. They didn't go out there because usually I go in and get them and then we're going on to the court. Because I didn't come down, they didn't go to the basketball court that day. So not only was I spared, but they were spared. And when I thought about everything, when it's all said and done, I said, God, you protected me. You shielded and protected me. That's why I kept forgetting stuff. Cause you was trying to keep me out of out of danger. Man, man, I could cry. I ain't supposed to be here, y'all. So many times. I ain't supposed to be here. So guess what? I'm here. And I'm going to tell these testimonies and I'm going to keep encouraging and keep motivating. And we need more of us, more people like us that come with these positive stories to help other people along. Like it's so many young people that's misled. They being led into nonsense. One thing I'm grateful for when I did go to the projects, I had two uncles, two uncles that gave us good encouragement, away from nonsense. And I learned a lot. I gotta blow my nose too. I learned a lot. One of my uncles taught me how to cut hair, taught me how to fix bikes, and you know, and how to carry myself as a man. The other uncle, he was ex-military. He taught us about life and how about doing things the right way and not be involved in no nonsense and stuff like that. So we had those key people in our lives that was helping us. Even though we went and did little knucklehead stuff from time to time, but we had those people, those unks, those people, that older people that with the wisdom that care. We're missing this with our young people now. The men are not in the houses no more, and the 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 unks and the neighbor that used to talk to you and give you encouragement, these people ain't around no more. Now there's nothing but negative nonsense. And the older ones that was into that is dragging the little younger ones into that stuff too. Listen, we need more of us that's going to be out here, spread more positive information, putting more positive stuff out versus all of this satanic negative stuff that's going on out here. So that's what I'm gonna do. That's what I'm gonna do, and that's what I try to do on all of my channels. I try to be as positive as I can. Yeah, I ain't perfect. I cuss. I'm trying to work on that. You know what I'm saying? I'm a sinner. I pray and I ask God for forgiveness every day. So I never try to portray like I'm holier than anybody else. I'm a work in progress, but my mission is just to try to help, encourage, and motivate others to do good and do better. And guess what? If somebody on this channel right now decide to do YouTube, right now on this channel, I think I got 100, a little over 100. Let's say one of y'all say, you know what? I like what he talking about. I'm gonna stop living in fear. I'm gonna go out here. I'm gonna do YouTube. I'm gonna start me a YouTube channel. Let's say your YouTube channel just blow up. For you know it, 6 months down the line, you got over 10,000 subscribers. I'm going to cheer for you. I'm not going to hate on you. I'm going to cheer for you. That's the problem, man. There's too much hating going on out here, man. I'm happy for you. You know what I'm saying? I don't care if I'm still sitting at that 100. I'm going to be happy for you. And that's what we need to do for each other. We need to uplift each other, not push each other down. All right? That's all I got for now. Let me go and get on in here and get Miss Jolie off this machine. I'll see y'all on the next one. As I always say, love, peace, and blessings to all of y'all. I'll see you in the next one. Peace out. Thanks for joining, y'all.